Hello, good morning, beautiful people. This is your favorite guy, Raymond Eche Agbalenyo, your number one Ghanaian young Pan-Africanist. And here I have with me here the CEO of the Raja Loved.
Hey,
Good morning, sir.
good morning, sir.
Yeah, it's very beautiful seeing you here.
Hey, it's beautiful to be here, Ashe. Thank you, brother.
Wow. Yesterday we had a tour to the Slave
Mm-hmm.
River, and
Yeah,
from there we come to Elmina Costa.
yeah,
And at the Slave River, how was the tour? How was your experience?
man, overwhelming. Let's just start there. As we were approaching the Slave River or even arriving at the site, I had these feelings of joy to connect with the ancestors, but anxiety also, right? Because the story is one filled with such trauma, right?
Yeah.
Um, So as I arrived, I definitely had a lot of different emotions that I was going through. And as we actually maneuvered down to the river, man, and had a chance to put my feet inside of the waters where my ancestors, had their last and final bath, some of them.
So how is the feeling like? Because knowing that that very water that
Right,
your ancestors had the last bath,
right,
and you coming, finding yourself in the same water, how
right.
is it feeling like? Is it joy or sad? How is it? I just imagine.
It was joy and sad. It was a mix. I mean, if I had to describe the feeling, the best way that I could try, I would say it was magnetic. I felt a
Wow.
pulling, a connection to not just the river itself, but to everything around me. I felt my ancestors very much present. My dad who recently passed away, my grandparents who had passed away, who I know have are always with me. But in that moment, it really felt like they were really right there with me, and were proud that I had made it back home to make that connection. Yeah, for sure.
That's really, really good. And what about this Elmina Castle?
The slave castle, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough to see the conditions.
Let me just quickly ask you the question. You looking at the gate of no return. Oh my
Right,
God.
right. The
So
gate of no return.
what was going through your mind? You seen, I mean, the door of no return.
Well,
How small it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and seeing it, and particularly how small it is, right?
Yeah.
And somebody my size wouldn't have fit through it, right? So that means they possibly would have sent me back to the dungeons for more starvation and more abuse until I was able to fit, or even kill me off at some point, right? So seeing the door of no return, it's a painful, traumatic history, but it's something that so much pride now that it is renamed the door of return, right? And
Yeah.
people are now beginning to come back, and to be a part of that coming back, seeing that door, there's some pride attached in. No,
Yeah, it's true.
what they thought would finish us,
Yeah.
we're still here, and we're
Yeah.
still pushing, we're still succeeding. Our families are still growing. Mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, all are coming back these days, and I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, that's really good. Because
Yeah,
I always say we black people, we are like a seed. You
right,
put us on the ground thinking you are destroying us, or rather you are doing us a favor.
right,
I mean,
right,
the more you dig us, the stronger we will become. It
right.
doesn't matter the circumstance we go through. Because
Hmm.
I just can't understand during the Jim Crow time and the slavery time in America how bad it was. The feeling,
Yeah,
knowing that you live in the same environment with people, but there is a difference. So you can't use this washroom, like a whole lot of things. It's not
yeah.
easy, but
Yeah, yeah, definitely not easy. Anytime that you have to live anyone as a second class citizen in their own perceived home or nation, that's
so
not going to feel
let me
good.
ask you this question. When you first time come to the motherland,
Mm.
how did you feel? When you land first time at Kotoka International
Hmm.
Airport, when you leave the airport, how do you feel?
When I first landed at the airport, man, my first visit at this point was over 10 years ago, but I will never forget that first landing on the airport and
Yeah.
what it felt like for my feet to touch the soil of the continent. At that point, even though I had landed in Ghana, I immediately felt the connection to the entire continent, being home again for
Right.
the first
So
time in
I
generations.
think we will
We're going to
continue more.
continue
We're
this
gonna
thing.
continue.
Yeah,
We have a
yeah.
lot to catch up.
My guy.
Bless up.
Bless up, man. I say.